I love it when the coffee kicks in and I realise what an adorable badass I'm going to be today.
You're always stuck in my head.
Hi and welcome back officially to my channel. This is something that I've been meaning to film for a while now, haven't quite got round to it, and I wanted to start off a new series and I wanted to start at a time where I felt like I had more time to have time, basically is the predicament I was in. I have just finished school and I thought I want to start really focusing on some of my goals, one of the main goals being YouTube. So I wanted to start bringing to you guys 2 videos a week, one that is kind of, you know, something, I don't know, it's a surprise, shall we say, and then another one which is like this one, which is a very quick kind of 5 to 10 minute just like advice session sort of thing. So today I wanted to talk about what to do once school is over, because I think that's a very fitting thing for like a lot of people watching at the moment, and it's for me because I just finished school, so I'm definitely in that boat of school's over and it can honestly feel like coming out of prison. I think that's what I thought of when I was thinking about what to talk about the other day. By the way, I'm supposed to have like a drink, like coffee or something, but I have already had about 3 today, so I thought it might not be a good idea to have another one. It can be like coming out of prison. You spend years and years in this institution following these certain rules, these certain guidelines, working towards this one date where it all ends, and then it ends and you've kind of got to go out and you've got to get used to what it's like to not be there again, because even though you're only there for 6 to 7 hours a day, it's like it becomes your life. Like, trust me, I know it becomes your life. And even for people who are like too cool for school, or for people who are really like straight A students and don't have to worry about it, wherever you are, it's really hard to come out of that at the end of it and not feel impacted in some kind of way. So personally, I think that for me, I really had to sit down and think, what am I going to do? I'm always a goal orientated person anyway, whether I'm in school or not. I've always kind of been into setting goals and seeing how much of them I can achieve. But once school finished, I was like, it's time to really start setting some goals. So I think that that's probably the best thing you can do. If you're feeling a little bit misguided at the moment, if you're feeling a little bit lost, set some goals. Those goals can be anything from, I'm gonna run a marathon, which is such a stereotype at this point, or it could be, I'm gonna read 10 books this summer, or I'm gonna beat the hardest level of whatever the latest game in the App Store. It can be anything, and don't allow yourself to feel like your goal isn't valid because your last goal was to get like a bunch of A levels or GCSEs or whatever it is you've done finished. So that was a big goal. So any goal that you move to now, it's gonna feel like you're kind of not doing it properly, and I get that and I felt that. So I've kind of been trying to like bombard myself with goals, but then I thought, no, I need to like slow it down a little bit. The thing is, things like hobbies are a great way to kill time, but I don't like the phrase kill time because that suggests that time is something that we're not supposed to enjoy, when actually we should be enjoying time. That's the whole point. You no longer have somewhere you have to be, you just have something that you have all this time, this whole stretch of time that you can do whatever you want to do with, whether you're going to uni or not, whether you've got an apprenticeship or a job coming up, whatever it is. You've definitely got more time now and more energy, especially where you can kind of invest it in whatever you want to invest it in. So I think that hobbies are a great way to do that. Hobbies to me are like goals, but like non-serious goals. So if your hobby is drawing, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're aiming to be an artist. It just means that you find it really fun, and that's completely okay. A big thing for me has been going and meeting up with friends as often as possible. I get so socially deprived when I'm not out and about, I think that the biggest thing I get from school, the biggest boost I used to get, was the social aspects of it. Just being able to be around people who are hopefully have the same mindset to you in some way or another, whether it's just the fact that they're the same age as you or going through the same thing as you. And I love making friends, I love talking to people. It's like I thrive off of it. Since not being in school, I knew this was going to be a problem. Well, not a problem, but more just like something to work on. So I've been trying to work on my own solo time, and I'm hoping that like I'm going to be able to like get to the point maybe in a few weeks time where I can like get on a bus and like go somewhere by myself, like completely just like alone, and spend some time with myself. Not quite done that yet, so I'm not going to preach that to you. But I've definitely been spending time with friends and doing all those kinds of good stuff, and I think that is definitely something to do, because you have time where you don't have to feel guilty about not revising or not being at extra curriculum activities or whatever it is that you used to do whilst you was in school. I think it's also important to have a bit of time where you think about what's next. If you have a plan, if you don't have a plan, there's always a next step in your life. There's no cut-off point to it. You can't just go, well, I'm not doing anything, so it doesn't matter. You know, there's always something coming up, so what is next for you? Figure out what that is. Spend some time, a little bit of time every day or every week, just trying to visualise what that looks like for you, and then work towards it. You know, it's just going to help you to not feel like a complete and utter lost soul. But I would also like advise you kind of, I don't know, I think it's kind of good to feel like a lost soul every now and again. I think that means that you'd be flowing with life rather than like trying to force your way through it, and I think that can be just as important sometimes, especially when you haven't got any big commitments. So if you're looking at your calendar and it's empty, have a little cheer about that, because it might not look like that for too long, so try and hold on to that. But I think the most important thing I could say is there are no longer any more excuses. If you have goals that you've been putting off because you have had exams, then there's no excuses anymore. It's time to get on those right now. That's my challenge to you. So that is it. I think I am still coffeeless, which is really, really sad, to be honest. Hopefully next week I'll remember not to drink every single cup of coffee in the house. And I hope to see you then. If you enjoyed, do not forget to leave a little like and maybe a little subscribe and maybe a little comment telling me if you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I will speak to you next week. Bye.
I try to move on, but you're the one that I dream about. I sit alone in my room, drawing up pictures of blue skies.